Imagine sailing into the vast, unforgiving silence of the Atlantic, only to find a perfectly seaworthy ship drifting aimlessly. Its crew vanished into thin air without a single trace of struggle. What kind of nightmare forces 10 people to abandon safety for the mercy of the deep ocean, leaving their meals still warm on the table? Nova, After Dark. Tonight we delve into the haunting century-old mystery of the Mary Celeste, a merchant brigantine discovered floating derelict in 1872. You will walk through the chilling evidence, examine the strange theories of the time, and piece together the final hours of a voyage that defied all logic. December 4th, 1872. The Atlantic Ocean was a graveyard of ambition and wood. Captain David Morehouse of the Dei Gratia scanned the horizon, expecting nothing but empty waves. Instead, he saw a ship cutting a strange, erratic path through the water. It was the Mary Celeste, appearing as if it was sailing itself. As the Dei Gratia pulled alongside, the silence from the Mary Celeste was deafening. No signal flags flew, no deckhands shouted, and no smoke rose from the galley. It felt as though time had frozen on the decks, leaving the ship a hollowed-out shell of its former self. A sense of unease rippled through the rescue crew. Captain Morehouse sent a small boarding party to investigate the derelict vessel. As they climbed the rope ladder, they expected to find a dying crew or perhaps a scene of carnage. They were not prepared for what they found below deck. Everything was in its place, yet everything felt fundamentally wrong. The cargo of industrial alcohol remained largely intact. Personal belongings, including valuables, were untouched in the cabins. There was no evidence of fire, no bloodstains on the deck, and no signs of a struggle. The ship was not just seaworthy. It was ready to sail another 1,000 miles. The logbook, the final testament of the ship's journey, provided no answers. The last entry was dated November 25th, over a week before the ship was discovered. It stated the ship's position near the Azores, describing a calm sea and routine operations. Then, abruptly, the record stopped entirely. Captain Benjamin Briggs was an experienced mariner, a man of faith and discipline. With him were his wife, Sarah, and their 2-year-old daughter, Sophia. The idea that such a man would abandon his ship without an absolute life-threatening emergency was unthinkable to his contemporaries and historians alike. The investigators turned their attention to the state of the ship's rigging. Some ropes were trailing in the water, suggesting they had been used to tether a small lifeboat, a lifeboat that was now missing. If the crew had abandoned ship, why would they leave the safety of a massive brigantine? Speculation began to run wild in the press and the maritime courts. The local newspapers of 1872 sensationalized the find, turning it into a tale of pirates, sea monsters, and divine wrath. This was the birth of the ghost ship legend, a moniker that followed the vessel forever. The Court of Vice Admiralty in Gibraltar opened a formal inquiry into the salvage claim. The judge, Sir James Cochrane, was notoriously suspicious. He looked at the clean condition of the ship and the lack of a crew, and he began to wonder if this was an elaborate insurance fraud case. The suspicion fell heavily on Captain Morehouse and his crew from the Dei Gratia. Had they come across the ship and murdered the occupants to claim the entire salvage award for themselves? The court demanded answers, but no evidence of foul play could be unearthed through the testimony. Exhaustive forensic examinations were conducted, though primitive by modern standards. Divers checked the hull, looking for holes or signs of collision. None were found. The Mary Celeste was as sound as the day it left New York Harbor, making the departure even more baffling to the experts. Another theory emerged regarding the cargo of 1,700 barrels of denatured alcohol. Some hypothesized that the cargo had begun to leak, filling the hold with volatile fumes. Fearing an imminent explosion, the captain might have ordered everyone off the ship to wait in the small yawl until the danger passed. If they did flee due to a gas leak, the weather might have turned on them. The Atlantic is rarely kind to small open boats. A sudden swell or a shift in the wind could have easily swamped their small vessel, dragging them into the depths while the Mary Celeste sailed on. Despite the lack of proof, the court eventually granted a reduced salvage award. The stigma, however, remained. No sailor wanted to serve on a ship with such a dark reputation, and the vessel eventually found its way into the hands of owners who sought to scuttle it for insurance money. Years later, investigators attempted to recreate the conditions on board. They found that while some theories held water, none could explain the sheer perfection of the abandoned deck. It was as if the crew had simply vanished into the ether, leaving the physical world behind without a single footprint of their passing. To this day, the Mary Celeste remains the ultimate maritime enigma. It stands as a reminder of the fragility of human life when faced with the infinite mysteries of the sea. We may never know what happened in those final quiet moments, but the legend of the ghost ship will forever haunt the Atlantic. What do you truly believe happened on that desolate December morning when the Dei Gratia spotted the wandering ghost ship? Was it a freak natural phenomenon, a mutinous uprising, or something far more sinister that the logs refused to record? Leave your theories in the comments below, and if you enjoy uncovering the dark secrets of history, subscribe to Nova After Dark for more deep dives into the unexplained.